So this is the Unreal Engine 5 remake, remaster, prequel, sequel combination, Layers of Fear. Reading up about this, it looks like a combination of the first and the second game, or like a reimagining of them. But yeah, in Unreal Engine 5, there's a demo at the moment. It's only going to be up for like the next week or so, I think. So have a try of this. It works, I would say, perfectly, basically in VR. It's got the motion controls you see there, and I'll play the rest of it with motion controls. Don't have stuff like subtitles. It's nice that it's got a head bobbing slider. It makes me know that they've obviously made like the... Well, there was a company that ported Layers of Fear to the Quest 2. So there is a VR one of a version of the first game. This is like the first and the second game or something. I'm not entirely sure. Don't know if the crosshair, you don't really need it in this. It's just kind of like the lamp and picking things up. Just having a look at the settings. The default seems pretty good. The lighting in this is really good. Just let it automatic. I didn't check if it needed updating in it or anything. Just turning off motion blur. Although I can turn it off in the settings. And there's a film grain slider. Well, I do find the very black point is like pushed a little bit, but I think that's so you can see all the kind of creepy stuff that they throw at you in the shadows. I do lower my gamma quite a bit. Now the cinematic is attached to my hand. Cinematic actually looks nice and crisp. Sometimes they look pretty down-res.
My palate was sated, nostrils stimulated, standing.
So this demo is going to give you, like you see there in the bottom left, it gives you like small snippets of the chapters. So I get too scared and quit out at the little snippet of chapter 5 when I get attacked. But kind of like cooler to see, you know, like on flat screen this looks really impressive, and in VR it's also pretty good. I mean, I'd have to say the graphics do look better on flat screen with these UE5 games. Like when you're in VR you see all the imperfections and things. But like being able to look around, I mean you can twizzle the stick to look at the object, but you can like just physically look at it as well. But yeah, lots of great environment detail, and the lighting is just really nice. And audio as well. The audio is really powerful, like the telephone on my right. Positional audio in this is pretty good.
Dear, congratulations.
I find it a bit weird there's like an internal monologue of like a memory that plays whenever you pick up something, but...
Hello?
I received the word that you came to the lighthouse.
1955.
You find everything
So
like
what you see now is I notice the end of the phone, and you see the fingers are like disappearing. So this is the culling plane of what it's too close to my headset. So this was really bad in the quarry, and after that Praydog added a slider for it. So you can see my hand and the end of the phone is disappearing as my headset gets into it. So I go down and scroll to near clip plane enable, and it's just the very lowest setting. And you can see there I can get really close to objects now without clipping through them or them disappearing.
Now that was a conversation I was too sober for.
Getting PT vibes from this corridor. So I'm just checking. There's quite a few CVRs that are kind of broken, but I was noticing the black point being kind of crushed at this point. So I'm kind of like, oh, let's go in and adjust the min max of it. I'm just trying to look. So this one here, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to be way too much. And then I was like, ooh, can I change the gamma? And you can, if you just touch that once, it goes really dark, and then it like brightens up. It's like maybe there's a sweet spot with that, but I just thought I'll put it back on default because I'm not sure how it will change later on. Maybe this area is relatively bright.
Whole lighthouse is at your disposal. My ass.
Yeah, the textures like on everything looks really crisp. I assume this is using some kind of nanite on the environment models. Now this is ray tracing off. It's DX12. I didn't check, but it might be that it crashes with ray tracing, but I'd have to check.
Dear, congratulations once again on winning our competition.
I mean, other than it being a scary game, it does seem like quite a cozy lighthouse. But I mean, that's ominous. Yeah, the lighting in it from the lamps, and just like the detail when you get up close to stuff. Like that sound. Wait, I'm like, I've not got the audio from my camera on, but I'm freaking out right now. I'm reading this. I really hope they bring out a native VR version of this for PC VR. I mean, because I think they just handed off the game to a porting house to do the Quest version. But it's kind of good with like minimal interactions. You're just picking things up, looking at objects, and later on you get like the lamp torch thing. Like there's not that much stuff to like port, so this mod is pretty good. Like I would reckon it's very similar to what you get with a normal native experience. There's not that much interaction in the standalone version as well. It's essentially very similar kind of things. Yeah, I'm freaking out. Yeah, this game seems to like closing the doors behind you and changing what's behind you because the turning speed is quite slow. It's a good one to play standing up, I think, as well. I didn't actually turn on the HMD movement, but if you want to play standing, that's pretty good. Good thing to add as well. I was looking forward to play Starship Troopers Extermination, but unfortunately discovered it's got anti-cheat. Otherwise that would probably work pretty well.
Good use of the phone while I'm here.
Sadly. Hopefully they get private service for that one day. But yeah, just looking at the kind of like the pencil and the rope.
Hi, darling.
And even the hand
I'm calling to
skin
let you
texture is
know
really
I'm
good.
here. Can you believe the agency already called to see if I was working?
That's insane. Did you at least have time to settle in a bit? How's the lighthouse? Inspiring? Spooky? Haunted?
All of these things. I was just looking around and it's certainly...
I was really confused because this woman doesn't seem that old and this guy sounds like an adult.
Don't you worry about me, Mama. This is your time to do your work. To live your life.
Well,
I was just curious to see what my model was like, and actually there's like a whole body that you can do, apart from your head, so it's pretty good for full body if you want to peer down at your feet. I'm just waiting for things to jump out, but it starts to see what it's like. I've just been overly cautious. But yeah, this after playing the Demonologist, this looks quite a bit better, like in terms of fidelity. Quite a bit better. And I'm thinking, oh, what's going on? I didn't realise we'd be skipping to chapter 2, so this next bit is shocking. Oh god, where are we? Now, a lot of people kind of say, I think the criticism of the second game was it's not got much content, but there's not much you walk around, but like what you do walk around is pretty intense.
I hear hereby resigned
So
from
this,
service as maiden.
so some of this voice acting's like not that great, but yeah, this lighting and like the paneling. Like at this point, I'm thinking, wow, like actually, UE5 is living up to its after seeing the like initial demo. So the books behind this is like it's like a 2D texture actually, and it moves with my head, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking something's wrong with it, and I'm like moving my head around, and the books are like tracked with my head. I don't know. Freaky stuff. Ooh. I'm glad I muted my mic. I'm being a bit of a baby right now. At least with the demonologist I can kind of hide behind the others and like let them walk into the scary room first. And then I noticed that the chair's gone. The wheelchair's gone from behind me. VR horror games have really good ability to just not want to make you go forward. Or like there's a space, like it feels like a space you just don't want to go to. I've just realised the door's no longer there. And like I can see the candles, I know they want me to go over there.
Oh, stop looking at me like that.
I kind of want to get rid of that black letterbox, I think, if I was playing the full game. Just get a little bit annoying. So I'm like, oh god, stuff like this. Like I just have to be strong. I'm saying to myself, I'm just in a bright room right now. This would be a really good game to play with the big screen beyond. I bet it looks really good with OLED. And I'm just pressing the controllers with my arms, but I'm not using the sticks or anything for looking around. I'm just using small movements of my wrists.
Honey, remember how you said it would be nice to have a cat? So
and the doors work like any of it. You just right trigger the interaction and then like a stick back or forward. Nope. I'm trying to think of any excuse not to go further into the wheelchair room. I'm just tidying up. Yeah, this part is the scariest part of the demo. Oh my god. This felt so ominous, and it wasn't even like a jump scare. It's just like the shadow, and like your mind is thinking what's there, and it looks so real as well. Like Unreal Engine 5, it's really good at getting horror mind worms deep down. And yeah, I'm noping right now.
I've always wanted to have a huge garden. I always loved painting blood.
To be honest, like
Right
they don't need the voiceovers. It'd be more scary without. And actually, like I didn't find really. I don't think I saw any effects that were broken in either eye. Which makes you think maybe they did test this in like VR, right? Because I feel like a lot of games that they never even thought of VR. You get one or two things. It's just not in one eye. This is like pretty good. Now this effect, like the smoke effect, is a bit kind of doesn't feel that good VR. Like whenever they put this like sickness effect over the screen. Luckily. It seems like it's been pretty brief whenever I get like this overlay, like the shimmering. There's a room later on which is pretty strong, and I was like, oh crap, I can't go back down. And there's like a creepy doll in the staircase. I just noticed that. Like I'm getting like the real effect of being dazzled by the fire there. I'm like, oh. just a bit finicky. It looks so good, like the lighting in this. And this isn't even with ray tracing, I guess this is like... It's lumen or something. Just baked. Right, okay, it's got to be in this room somewhere. And I know it turned on like safe mode that the monsters can't kill you, but you forget about the options pretty quickly in this environment. Okay, alright, open sesame. Then suddenly like the effect disappears and it's like all nice and clear.
I never wanted it to come to that.
I'm starting to panic now because I've got essentially the monster weapon thing. And now you can like properly see the motion controls once I get this thing, because you can see like how it's being controlled. I'm like, what the hell is that? Kind of an Alan Wake type stuff. Oh god, what is this thing? The killer with the light.
Since my last letter, things
And the objects are really good, like the amount of detail in the actual objects, like just the paper texture and everything. Now I've got the light though, can make it even darker and even scarier now. I'm freaking out because it's like a scarecrow shadow. I feel like I've got slightly braver since playing the Demonologist, but if anything, maybe I'm expecting others to act as meat shields.
Why can't you understand? I'm working in here. I swear if I'm interrupted one more time, I thought it would be harder.
Yeah, they need to get rid of these voiceovers. Maybe there's an option to disable the voiceovers, but it's just creepy. Like, be gone. I'm worried about the bar. Right, okay. Some gunk. Right, this effect that they start putting over the camera now is really like drunk vision, Biro vision. It's kind of a comfortable. If you've got poor VR legs, this is. I just noticed all the pictures changing. I think a lot of this game is just like put you in scenarios just to stress you out. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't. I'm thinking, is there something on the roof? Because I'm in VR, like it's so easy just to like look at the ceiling. But oh god, here we go. I'm paranoid about monsters. I haven't seen one. Okay, so you see this like warping effect, like that. Yeah, it feels like being drunk. Luckily it doesn't last that long. Looking at this, I'm like, oh god, what is this stuff? So weirdly, part of that table was like see-through for me. I don't know whether that was like a VR nonsense bug thing, or if it's just like part of the creepiness. Because I'm looking, you see they're like highlighted, I can see them through the table. I'm like, oh, is that something I need to get to? But it's not, I just need to put the record on the record player. I'm just looking at this again, like the details on this. Like even though it's pretty recently since the last games came out, but having like this kind of remaster combination of both of them seems like a perfect opportunity to jump in if you haven't played these. It cannot be undone. Oh, it's me mouthing it. Otherwise, nice bedroom. Someone's had 7 years of bad luck here. And you got this creepy bone
I needed to
thing.
remove the flesh from the bone. At first, I was lost as to how.
And assumingly I'm playing as a different character than the woman in the
Honey, what in the world are you doing?
lighthouse at the start. This is chapter 2 or something. Can't open the cupboards. And we're back in the starting room. I think the thing on the left must be like secrets or something. That must be like your progression. Because these are all locked. I guess these are stuff you unlock later in the game. And the little squares on the wall. It seems like every level starts from here. Or at least maybe this is like the first game. Or I'm not quite sure. Because I didn't play the other ones. You can see now we've got stuff open. We got creepy dolls.
He simply wasn't enough.
I'm starting to get like super spooked now. My heart rate's getting up. I'm starting to
Comes
sweat.
to me at the bottom of the bottom.
Such nice handwriting. I'm like, oh no. We got puzzles. We got creepy doors. And it's way more creepy now. It's all like dilapidated. No, can't open that. I really don't want to go over here. Nope. And then I noticed the green spirals. I'm like, okay, video game puzzle, easy. And the audio in this is like, not good. Oh, I'm freaking out. Freaking out. Good job. I've got the evil lamp. Oh, I totally don't want to go down there now that door's open. And I'm about to like just nope. I'm like gonna nope out of this.